Hey guys, so the first season of Agent Carter just finished and holy crap, it's good. So for those of you who aren't into the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe business or a fan of good TV, then this video probably is not for you. Oh, and not to mention, spoilers ahead. Agent Carter is an 8-episode miniseries which aired during the mid-season break of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Man, did they leave us with a cliffhanger. Anyway, we first saw Peggy Carter in Captain America the First Avenger, played by Hayley Atwell. She was a part of the SSR, which was S.H.I.E.L.D. before it was S.H.I.E.L.D., and was instrumental in Steve Rogers' eventual transformation into Captain America. The movie ends with Carter on the line to the captain, who is in control of a hydroplane, which eventually crashes into the ocean despite Carter's best attempts to rescue the situation. We all then assume the captain's death, although we, the viewers, know that this is not the case. The next appearance of Agent Carter was in a one-shot short film set a year after the end of the movie. We see Agent Carter taking on a case in the most badass way possible. This left fans definitely wanting more. Fast forward a bit in the real world and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has really taken off on TV. Marvel announces that Agent Carter will be getting her own miniseries to air in the middle of the second season. We were in for a treat. Agent Carter was set in the mid-40s. You can imagine the attitude towards women at this time was not great at all. One of the major themes of the series tackles how sexism was rife throughout that time, and what the attitudes of both men and women were dealing with it. The series begins with Howard Stark being accused of selling weapons to enemy forces by the SSR, and he is made a fugitive to the United States. He contacts Carter, a person who he trusts, to help him clear his name, as it turns out that his weapons were in fact stolen from him. He gets his butler Jarvis, yes, that Jarvis, to assist Peggy. Carter reluctantly agrees, which forces her to become somewhat of a double agent. At the SSR, Peggy is no more than a lady that delivers the men their coffee and lunch. This was a chance for her to do some actual field work. A little further on, Carter uncovers a possible terrorist plot involving an explosive called nitramine, and links it back to an organization called Leviathan. She believes that these are the people stealing Stark's inventions. During the course of this series, Carter is trying to win over her peers, and slowly she is given more freedom, but eventually she is caught. While trying to prove her innocence, she explains to the chief that the reason she's gone behind their backs is because to them, she was invisible, and by using that to her advantage, she was able to do a great deal of work. While undercover, Carter managed to secure a vial of Steve Rogers' blood, which she believes is the last remaining memory of him. All the while, Leviathan has managed to sneak itself into the SSR and plans to cause an attack on the city by using one of Stark's inventions, which is a gas that makes people become violent and attack each other. Kinda like the movie Kingsman if you've seen it. In order to stop this, Howard Stark turns himself in, which lures Dr. Ivchenko to him. This doctor was recovered from a raid of a military complex in Russia, whom the SSR thought would be useful. It turned out that he was working for Leviathan all along and was part of a clever play. The Doctor's special ability is to basically control and alter people's minds and force them to do something for him. He assumes control of Stark, which causes him to use one of his planes to deploy the dangerous gas over the city. At the climax, Peggy gets on the line to Hal to try and convince him to turn around. Sound familiar? She ends up successful and the city is saved, while the Doctor is apprehended. We end with the SSR getting a commendation for stopping the terrorist attack, but with Peggy's male superior getting the recognition. One of Carter's other co-workers tries to correct this, but strangely, she's content about it. We then see Peggy emptying the vial of Steve's blood into the sea. The final scene shows the Doctor from before, being refrained from talking, entering prison. From the shadows, Arnim Zola emerges and offers the Doctor an opportunity. Yes, that guy, remember him? That's a brief recap of the series. Overall, I think the writing was absolutely brilliant. It tackled the issue of, and gave light on what was a sexist culture back then. As viewers, we're made to sympathize with Carter and the other female characters, and also, in a way, feel angry with them. All the actors and actresses in this series were brilliant, and Hayley Atwell really had a great performance as the lead. While it was only 8 episodes, I found that so much happened. The show never felt like a drag, yet it didn't feel rushed either. The pacing was perfect and was always engaging. I liked the tie-in to the current universe and having characters like Howard Stark and Jarvis feature. The plane scene at the end was obviously put in as a direct contrast to the scene in Captain America. Only now that we see a more positive outcome. We even see the Howling Commandos when the SSR is on a mission in Russia. Especially with the final scene. Is this the beginning of Hydra? Does Dr. Revchenko play a part in the Winter Soldier's brainwashing? It's also amazing how much suspense the show can build for Agent Carter herself, even though we know her ultimate fate in the Winter Soldier movie. I give this series a good 8 out of 8. Would recommend. I wonder if we'll get a second season. I think the writers have left it open enough while still giving some closure, so we'll see. And to think we still have half a season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. to go.